Trigger warning, today's stories are crazy, so if you're sensitive, maybe skip this video. I turned down a proposal, so he tried to kill me. I'm bracing myself because this is not going to be a light story. My now ex of 8 years is locked up. Thank God for that. He decided to propose on our 8th anniversary whilst completely blackout drunk. I told him for the millionth time, I won't say yes if you're drunk. I'm scared of you drunk. People always ask, why didn't you leave? But they never ask what made leaving feel impossible. My heart breaks for the version of you who was scared and still trying to hold things together. He tore my door down and grabbed me by the hair. He smacked my head into the wall so hard there were holes. I still can't bend it. I'm bruised and sore. I don't even remember him dangling me off the balcony. I suppose my brain blocked that part out. My dad heard the fight and my pleading and he saved me. I hate that your body is still carrying the evidence what he did to you. But I'm very grateful for the fact that your father was there and saved you. I called 911 and it took 2 cops to beat him down to get off of me. If trained officers struggled, you never stood a chance, and that's terrifying. Yesterday was my interview for my dream job. I still went with heavy makeup. I pray they didn't notice my injuries. The fact that you still show up says so much about your strength. I know these circumstances too. I was hiding away with my bruises. The Department of Social Services showed up about our son that was asleep through the I've been named his guardian and my ex is banned from speaking to me. He may only see our son when sober and his mother present. He got more than what he deserved. Without alcohol, he's as good as gold. But he certainly tried to kill me and I never can forgive him. Today, I'm not as angry. I'm simply sad that I've lost my family. I really want to say this clearly. Good when sober doesn't undo the love doesn't require forgiveness. And survival doesn't require minimizing what's happened. You allowed to be sad and allowed to never look back. Both can exist. Why would I even feel sad for the Can anyone point me in a good direction for resources? I have a victim's advocate. I'm embarrassed, sore, angry, and now sad. You don't have to feel one way. Anger, embarrassment, sadness, and even guilt are all pieces of a normal response to someone trying to destroy your life. Be gentle to yourself and allow each feeling to exist without judgment. What you're feeling is completely normal, even though it can be confusing. Trauma has this sneaky way of mixing emotions. I do not know how to navigate this. I've been through hell the last 7 years and thought I had my happy ending. Opie made many comments throughout her post, so we are gonna read several of her relevant comments. Opie, I suppose this is all for the best for our son. He doesn't deserve that at all, nor does my daughter whose father is deceased and I have shared custody with her grandmother. Was your dad I swear, my ex treated me like gold beside the 3 incidents of That's 3 times more that should ever happened. The last one being the last straw. My children never saw this, but my eldest knows about it. That line right there. Besides the 3 incidents of That's your brain trying to soften something that was actually enormous. And I get it why. When someone is loving most of the time, it makes the harder to name, not easier. Commenter respond. Be prepared to be love-bombed. You will seem to return to the person you first met, and he will be very remorseful and say alcohol made him do it, and he will promise to stop drinking. He will behave great around your child and act like a perfect father. Don't believe it. The number 1 predictor of someone being by a partner is a recent incident where the partner attempted to or inflicted severe life-threatening injuries. This is a terrifying but really important part to point out. The perfect remorse face can feel so convincing, especially when it looks like it comes from the person you fell in love with. And they start to say all the right things. Alcohol becomes the excuse, promises are flying, and suddenly it feels like it maybe was a one-off. But when a fight escalates to a life-threatening, the risk changes completely. This isn't about giving another chance. It's about survival. OP's answer: he me 7 years ago during a breakup. He did exactly that and returned to substance and physical. He won't trick me this time. Cops told me there won't be fourth time. He will me next time he's angry. Commenter respond: even if you're letting go of all really toxic person in your life, there may still be grief. You're grieving and that's okay. You are so strong and you have to stay that way for your child. He needs you. You have a great dad. You need to get some counseling for grief and probably PTSD. Good luck. Feeling sad doesn't make you weak. It makes you human. Strength here isn't never hurting. It's choosing safety anyway, especially for your kids. That's real courage. OP's answer: I had emergency counseling 2 days later, yesterday, and my therapist is extremely worried because I already have severe PTSD from a number of traumatic events, including our first son dying, which led to his drinking and my daughter's father being in an accident. Several I could go on. I do not feel human right now. I feel like a proper idiot. I don't feel human. I feel like an idiot is a classic trauma response, not a personal failure. Commenter response: it's not like the movies where are obviously the bad guy. Can seem to be great, loving people a lot of the time. That's why people stay, because they get loved and love bombed and treated so well. That's why the is thought just to be an aberration. Oh, he's a great guy, he's just an angry drunk. But he doesn't get drunk that often, so our lives are good for the most part. Nobody's perfect, everybody has their problems. But I can deal with him temper on occasion. Living with an it's like the episode just kinda happens. It's something that is done to both the and the because the is a great person, right? So they must be suffering as much as the and especially afterwards when was so remorseful, right? Yep, came from a house with parents. Not all of it was bad. There were plenty of great times, which kind of f***s you up even more. And note, he can't blame this on the alcohol. I've known recovering alcoholics that know they can't drink because they become angry drunks. They know when they start drinking, they are going to do things they regret. Your husband knew what he became when he drank and still did it. The whole thing with your head and with your kids' heads. Yes, it's good they didn't see it, but they could certainly feel the emotional tenor of the house. Contact your victim advocate and see what other resources there are available. Your advocate helps you with the court system, which is great, but there should also be therapeutic resources available. Yeah, this commenter really gets it. The part not being like in the movies is really important. It's confusing because there is real love, real good days, and real remorse mixed in. That's what traps people. Not ignorance, not weakness, but hope. OP's answer: Jesus, this just blew my mind. It made me cry, which I think is the first time I've cried this entire time. It made this real. I definitely feel more afraid for my kids than anything else, but the severity of it really didn't hit me until I posted this. I definitely pursue this to the fullest extent possible and make sure this all processed the correct way. I keep thinking he'll basically in quarantine with his parents, but I need to secure my legal rights immediately and therapy. I do go to therapy, but it seems like it'll need to be more specialized if it's going to work. I appreciate you and everyone else giving such in-depth insight. It's been invaluable and I'm forever grateful. I'm really glad her fear shifting toward protecting her kids. That instinct is powerful, and it's often what gives people strength they didn't know they had. We have an update, so let's see where life took her 15 months later. 15 months ago, my ex tagged me. I ignored Reddit's advice and eventually took him back. Here's the update. Oh no, that title already says this isn't going to be easy. Her introduction made my stomach drop. July of 2024, my husband of nearly a decade nearly me while blackout drunk. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit confused because the original title was that she turned down his proposal, so he nearly her. And now it says that he was her husband for nearly a decade. Anyway, let's keep reading. The comments I received from the post I made then bluntly explained what my future would be if I took him back. I am ashamed to say that I did indeed take him back, but lived apart while he went through a lot of therapy for anger and alcohol. Things were decent for about 8 months, but he quickly reverted back to heavy drinking and behavior. I felt utterly stuck. I lost my job, leaving me to depend on his income, lost my confidence, was my anxiety medication just to deal with his outbursts. Many friends parted ways because they couldn't watch my inevitable. I became a shell of myself. The shame part really gets me. You can feel how trapped she became piece by piece, financially, emotionally, and socially. The part where she lost her friends too is horrifying. That's the part when she actually realized that people wasn't exaggerating. They were scared for her life, but there was nothing they could do. A month ago, he lost it again and was not to the extent of the first time, but still, and put our child in danger. His family called the police after he injured my parents and began to throw furniture, smash anything glass, and did so in front of our 3-year-old. I ended up with glass lodged in my eye, but I am so very lucky to be alive. My child is lucky to be okay. This is my greatest shame. But shame will only hold me back from reaching my potential as both a person and mother. Everyone's comments were spot on. The love bombing, the amazing promises, seemingly changing his life for the better. But as predicted, that did not last. I am so embarrassed that I didn't hit so many genuine warnings sooner. My therapist describes it as betrayed wife syndrome. And for me to focus on all of the positive changes I am making for myself, my kids, and my career. In just a month, I feel like I had a 1,000-pound brick lifted off of my shoulders. No more tiptoeing on eggshells, no more canceling plans because he's too drunk, no more popping Xanax to stand being alive. No more terrifying rants wondering if he would snap. No more running out of money before payday because he drank and smoked it. It's not that easy to just leave and be done with it. A lot of the times it takes several attempts before someone can leave a relationship like this. Now you just have to be strong enough to stay away, rewrite your story, and take the control back. I am at the most dangerous part of my journey. He is realizing that I'm not coming to his rescue, that I'm truly done. This has caused him to really show who he was all along. A hateful, rage-filled man-child with the ability to cause severe harm. I think seeing my child in danger is what snapped me back to reality. Whatever it was, thank God it happened. I am not fully out of danger until I move further away and get a lawyer to help me safely untangle our decade of dysfunction, but I have an extremely strong support system. And 2 neighbors that are armed. He is not allowed near me or our son. This is the part of living on that's the scariest, when they realize you won't come back and start showing their true self. I'm glad you are not alone in this, that you have a true support system and people who can defend you. I am posting this because I see a lot of women posting about their wonderful partners becoming violent for the first time and not knowing what to do. Please, please, let my words and those thoughtful folks that try so desperately to warn me last year alert you to the danger you are truly in. It is never just once. Women are every day by men like this. I do not want sympathy. I want this to serve as a warning to all the lovely women and men feeling stuck in a situation. Don't fall for sunk cost fallacy or heel change. You can't afford to not have that secondary income, or your situation is different. The price I paid to keep a man that only held me back was higher than words can express. I will finally be my authentic self, and my children will thrive by having a happy, healthy, and safe mother and environment to grow. If my confession here saved just one person from this life or potentially being hurt or then the embarrassment and inevitable comments that will be negative are worth it. Be safe, be happy, and live a life worth living, not just surviving. I'm so proud of you for finding your way and leaving. Making a mistake doesn't mean you're a failure. Admitting your mistakes and making life-changing steps, that's what really matters. My heart goes out to you and everyone else in this position. I hope your determination to protect yourself and your kids gives others the strength to see their worth and safety first. I have another story for you guys today. Am I wrong for finding comfort in my late wife's twin sister? My wife passed away in a horrific car accident 8 months ago, leaving myself and our 3-year-old daughter behind. Grief can be really messy and feelings can be complicated fast. Sending a lot of support to you and your daughter. I was far too depressed to do anything, much less care for my daughter properly. So my sister-in-law, her twin sister, essentially moved in to help out. While sobbing about my wife's death together, one thing led to another and we ended up having. After the first time, we both felt nauseated with guilt, but soon came to realize that it was helping both of us cope. She's so much like my wife that when I'm with her, I'm able to kind of forget what happened. It's temporary relief, but relief nonetheless. She grew to believe that she was doing a good thing by helping me cope and be a better father to my daughter. It's been a regular thing up until now. I can understand why this happened. I lost my boyfriend and I don't blame or judge them at all. I can't even imagine what I would have done if he had a twin. I get how complicated grief can make things. I feel obviously conflicted about it. No one can know what's going on as it might tear our family apart, but it's helped me to not kill myself and I have been a much better father/member of society since we began. I don't know if I'm prepared to stop. Help me see things objectively. How is this? I don't think objective is exist in your situation the way you are hoping it does. From a pure grief perspective, I get why it happened. When you are just trying to survive the day and keep yourself alive, morality gets blurry. The fact that it helped you not kill yourself, it matters a lot. But two things can be true at the same time. It can be understandable and still deeply be unsustainable. There is no good way of grieving. There is no rulebook us to follow. Every day, we are just doing our best. There are some edits on this post, what we are gonna read now. Edit. I didn't specify that the first time we slept together was a month after her passing. Yes, it was very sick in hindsight and we both regretted it deeply. It didn't happen again for another 2 months and then continuously until today. I'm not judging. I get how easy it is to slip into something when you just want to stop feeling miserable. But the earlier you bring in a professional to help you untangle the situation, the better it will be for both of you and your daughter. Update: I talked to my sister-in-law, which ended in us in bed together once again. I don't think we can cut things off quite yet. It seems like majority of criticism is about how this will affect my daughter, which is very understandable. We've just decided to take better care to keep our relationship private for as long as possible until we are ready to move on. Therapy, individually and maybe together, can help you both process the grief without continuing the pattern, especially so your daughter grows up in a safe, emotionally stable environment. I think it's pretty obvious that you need to find a therapist to discuss all of this with. Grief counseling, the sooner the better. It's good that you recognize the issue with this. Recognition is the first step. Please speak to a professional grief counselor. I hope today's stories didn't traumatize you too much. I love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment. I'll reply to everyone. If you enjoyed today's stories, please subscribe and see you in the next one.